relationships. That building relationships is key, and that careers will go in unpredicted ways that you can't expect, and that in the future there's the power of those relationships that can achieve things with unbelievable speed and efficiency and effectiveness. And so that's the kind of hope, is that of the 153 students, that it wasn't just a 12-week course to do a kind of a come in and go. It was hopefully an event where you'll remember folks for life. Oftentimes people focus on the sales metric, and we use that as a measure because you need some things, but we're quick to point out that really we exist to build relationships first. And so all the regional centers are building relationships. Now, at lunch with some of the students, we talked a little bit about the transition from relationships to key equipments that countries need for their security, and so the byproduct of the relationship is working together, common equipment that enhances our interoperability, our ability to work together to enhance security. Still too early to tell. I don't think so. If anything, my sense is it will be enhanced and strengthened. I believe Secretary Gates stayed on through the transition, and he is getting a greater and greater appreciation of what security cooperation is all about. And I think the leaders between the NSC and up to the President himself want to better understand what security cooperation in the arena is all about, and better leverage it around the world. One success was to kind of build a relationship with India. We transferred a warship, the ex-USS Trenton, they call it the Jalashwa, and some helicopters with that ship. And so building our relationship with India is key. And when I got into this job 2 years ago, a lot of work on Iraq. Iraq basically wanted to use the FMN system because they believed it would not be corrupt and would help them. And so we've worked that very, very hard. As well, Afghanistan, we worked very, very hard there. Lebanon, worked a lot of equipment issues with Lebanon. There's long-standing relationships of leaders there, but for their special security needs, they need a lot of equipment. We pressed to deliver that before the 7 June elections, and I think the 7 June elections have been a positive outcome, and I look forward to a continued close relationship between U.S. and Lebanon. On a broad scale, in the early 2000s, our sales level, just to go back to that metric again, were around 8 to 13 billion a year. Last year they were 36.4 billion. This year our estimate is 40 billion. We're at 27 at the 6-month point, so we're actually ahead of the forecast. Last year, folks asked what I attributed that to, and I'd asked my staff to do some research and plot oil prices versus sales. And if you look at those two curves as you adjust those, there's a 93% correlation of those two events. So then the next question is, now that oil prices have rapidly declined, are sales going to rapidly decline? And my answer is I don't know, but that I believe that many countries have built up cash reserves that deal in oil or other commodities, and they've got significant roadmaps of equipment they're going to buy, and the trend is exactly that they continue to buy. So we'll see. Other countries that don't deal with oil still have their own security needs, and we work that.